How many characters do I need to know to pass HSK Level 3? Learning a new language can be a daunting task, but breaking it down into manageable chunks can make the process easier. In the case of Chinese, mastering 600 characters quickly may seem like a tall order, but it is completely doable with the right approach. Here are some tips on how to learn 600 Chinese characters quickly. Why learn Chinese characters? Learning Chinese characters requires a great deal of time and effort, but the benefits outweigh the challenges. Mastering Chinese characters is essential if one wants to communicate effectively in China. Chinese characters are a fundamental aspect of the language. They are used in speech, writing, and communication, and it would be impossible to understand Chinese without knowing them. Moreover, the Chinese government has made it mandatory for students to learn Chinese characters, meaning that proficiency in them is a vital part of basic education in China. What is HSK test? The HSK, Hanyu Shui Ping Kaoshi, is a standardized test of Chinese language proficiency that measures the ability of non-native speakers to use Chinese in daily life, work, and educational settings. The HSK Level 3 is designed for students who have mastered the basics of Chinese grammar, vocabulary, and syntax. To pass HSK Level 3, one needs to know at least 600 Chinese characters, in addition to a set of vocabulary, grammar, and reading skills. In this essay, I will discuss the importance of Chinese characters in passing HSK Level 3, the minimum number of characters required to pass the test, and how to effectively learn and use Chinese characters to improve the chances of passing the exam. Chinese characters are an essential component of the HSK exam. Unlike alphabetic languages like English, Chinese has a logographic writing system, which means that every character represents a unique meaning and sound. Chinese characters are the building blocks of the language, and they make up the majority of Chinese texts, including books, newspapers, and websites. Therefore, it is crucial to possess a thorough understanding of Chinese characters to comprehend written and spoken Chinese. Chinese characters are also an integral part of Chinese cultural heritage, and their study provides insights into Chinese customs, beliefs, and traditions. To pass HSK Level 3, one needs to know at least 600 Chinese characters. According to the HSK Level 3 requirements, candidates must master the basic grammar patterns, sentence structures, and vocabulary related to daily life and work. The minimum 600 characters include both simplified and traditional versions, covering a range of topics such as numbers, time, clothing, food, transportation, and leisure activities. Candidates must be able to recognize and use these characters in various contexts, such as reading and writing short passages, filling out forms, and answering questions that require using the characters in sentences. The 600 Chinese characters required for HSK Level 3 might seem overwhelming at first. However, with persistence and a well-planned study strategy, one can master them within a reasonable time frame. Here are some tips for effectively learning and using Chinese characters for HSK Level 3. Step number 1. Set a goal and plan. The first step in achieving any goal is to identify what you want to achieve and develop a clear plan for how you're going to get there. In this case, your goal is to learn 1,000 Chinese characters in 6 months. To achieve this goal, you need to study daily and consistently. Breaking down the task into smaller, manageable chunks is also important. You can start by focusing on learning 10 to 20 characters a day. You should also set a specific time to study the characters each day and stick to it. Second, start with the most frequently used characters. According to research, the top 100 most frequently used Chinese characters account for 50% of all characters used in written text. Therefore, it is critical to memorize these high-frequency characters to improve reading efficiency and comprehension. Third, use mnemonics to remember characters. Mnemonic devices are memory aid techniques that associate a character with a story or image, making it easier to remember. For example, the character, nan, meaning man, can be associated with the image of a person with a hat and a beard. Fourth, practice with flashcards and spaced repetition software. Flashcards are a great tool for memorizing characters and expanding vocabulary. Spaced repetition software such as Anki uses an algorithm that adjusts the frequency of review sessions based on the user's performance, making it easier to retain characters and words over time. Fifth, read Chinese texts regularly. Reading is an essential skill for language learners, as it exposes them to a variety of contexts, styles, and genres. Reading Chinese texts such as news articles, short stories, and online forums enhances vocabulary acquisition and comprehension. Sixth, practice writing characters by hand. Writing Chinese characters by hand improves muscle memory and helps develop a sense of stroke order and structure. It is also a useful skill for completing written assignments, filling out forms, and taking notes. Seventh, seek feedback from native speakers and language teachers. Getting feedback from others, especially those who are proficient in Chinese, can help identify areas for improvement and provide valuable insights into pronunciation, grammar, and usage. Number 8. Be consistent. Consistency is paramount in achieving your goal of learning 1,000 Chinese characters in 6 months. Studying every day, even if it is just for 30 minutes, is more effective than studying for hours once or twice a week. Creating a routine and sticking to it will help establish a habit. Aim to make the language a part of your daily life, whether it be watching Chinese movies, listening to Chinese music, or conversing with native speakers. In conclusion, to pass HSK Level 3, one needs to know at least 600 Chinese characters and must be able to use them in various contexts. Learning and using Chinese characters is an essential aspect of Chinese language acquisition, and it requires persistence, dedication, and a well-planned study strategy. By following the tips outlined in this essay, you can enhance your chances of passing HSK Level 3 and acquiring proficiency in Chinese language and culture.